We are the Crystal Gems, we'll always save the day, but if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, and Steven. Hey, welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at one of my favourite series as thus far, Steven Universe. And the game we're going to look at today is actually the second in a trilogy, which I didn't know existed until, well, about October-ish last year. This one we're looking at is Steven Universe Save the Light. Let's hope it's a really good game. Steven Universe is an actual great game. The fact this is the second out of third series and only just had the third one released as of November last year, I want to take a moment to actually look at the second installment. One I took at face value for thinking that's just a quaint game, who knows what it's going to be like. Well, I was actually quite wrong, would you believe? I know I'm jumping to the end of the video, but you might actually be surprised what I've got to say about this series. Or this game in particular. I live streamed one or two shots at it, but I've actually completed the game since then and managed to 100% it as well. That shows you how much I actually quite like this game. But let's start off where it all begins.
So to give an idea about the backstory of Steven Universe, it stars our titular character, Steven Universe, as he grows up from being 14 years old around gems. Now, yes, I know, it's kind of given away in the actual song, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. These are space-dwelling women from the stars who have fought a rebellion against their own kind, against the Diamond Authority, to save Earth, alongside a fallen comrade, Rose Quartz, who is Steven Universe's mother. Now, the series itself is amazing. It has 5 long series. It's got a future series, which is halfway done at the time of this recording, and 1 movie out. A bunch of different comics, lovely merchandise everywhere, and, of course, this game we're about to talk about.
I enjoy this series. Now, not only because the actual 6 series there is, the literature, which actually some of it's actually pretty damn good. The fans, the different original characters of Steven Universe, the pop figurines, which are really expensive. Seriously, go check out the price of Lapis. She's wow. Overall, the series is actually very good. How was the gameplay of this though?
So Steven Universe Save the Light is the second installment in the trilogy of the Light series. You've attacked the light, saved the light, and unleashed the light. All these were on the iOS, but Save the Light managed to get put and ported onto Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Windows, and Switch. So originally it was on the iOS on August the 13th, with later ports coming either in October or November. However, this is by far the most loved version at the time of recording, because I believe Unleash the Light is much better. This is your typical action-adventure role-playing video game, which follows quite a lot of the tropes of action-adventure role-playing games, RPGs, as they like to keep quoting in the game.
RPG, RPG, it's a quest for you and me.
The game was developed by Grumpy Face Studios and also published by Cartoon Network Games. But the best part about this, it was actually written by the proper writer and creator, Rebecca Sugar, who has done a wonderful job portraying the characters in digital form. I don't think it would have been too hard because, you know, the characters are exactly the same as they are in the cartoon, especially if you've got the same writer, it won't be that hard. The plot's very simple. It takes place right after the events of Attack the Light. With Steven recapping the events of Attack the Light, the story is told out, so eventually then goes into the now and then, with Steven explaining that he is a little light Steven. So you go around doing a wee bit of a quick task here and there, but eventually you find out the owner of the light, Hessonite, has come to claim it back. This sets out the precedence of the whole entire game of you going from point to point trying to get back the light, encountering Hessonite where some dialogue goes down, and lo and behold, do a boss battle, onto the next area. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's not really a hard plot to get around or hard for you to understand. It doesn't have to go to world-shakingly breaking points, and it doesn't have to go to the dark, deep tones of nowadays games. It's quite a lovely break from the tedious monotonous of depressing death or depressing killing or depressing plots. Even the characters are written well. Once again, Rebecca Sugar did a really great job of it, bringing Steven, Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Connie, Greg, Paradot, Lapis, and any other character along that line, even Squaredot, to life by giving them that characteristic that just feels like this is bang, an episode out of the series, which I think this is actually set typically like most of the time. Especially even the loading screen has that Save the Light intro title card, which is quite cute. Ultimately, the game comes to a head off with Hess Knight. Now, there are spoilers which will go into the third game, but I will just say play the actual game to enjoy the story. Even if you don't like Steam Universe, it's still a relaxing time to go play. Gameplay wise, I can't say anything bad about it. It's not like your turn-based strategy like Final Fantasy or that. This is played in real-time battle, where you, the player, will gain a limited amount of star points, and you have to dish out what you're going to do with those star points with each character. Your characters are displayed on the screen in battle formation while you're fighting the various monsters that have different attack patterns and different styles of fighting. There will be monsters you will not want to fight, and there will be ones that you'll find are easy fodder. For me, I found one of these creatures, the Sword Monster. Yeah, I like calling them those names because I don't actually know their names. But yeah, this big sword monster is a bit of a bugger because he likes to take chunks of health when he attacks. However, there is a way you can get around him. Just use Amethyst and Peridot. Amethyst to hold the enemy in place, and Peridot to set up a turret and to just keep taking pot shots at him until he dies. However, each move does cost a certain amount of points, so this is where you got a timer. You can spend all your points off in one, but you've got to wait a wee while till they refresh. Good news is, if you don't spend all your points in one shot, your points accumulate over time and increase. For example, I have 5 points, I've used 3. The 5 points that would have refilled go on top, so it gives me a grand total of 8. That's pretty cool. It means that you can afford bigger combo attacks or bigger attacks that you can do. For example, Connie's got a move that requires 6 star points. It's really worthwhile to use that move, but there's artificial ways you can increase the star counter. For example, badges, which are equipable and give you many different abilities and come in an array of specific types and who you can equip them to, depending upon character, whether it's gem race or whether it's human race, or it can be both. Not to mention the many items that you can come across. For example, Starfruit, there's 3 types which can relay into different effects. For example, 3 points added, 6 points added, or the next ability you use is 0 cost. This opens up for many different attack patterns and how you take on things. Yes, I know a lot of battles are going to be rinse and repeat, but well worth it because you do have a level up system which goes in a point based system, allowing you to increase defense, attack, luck and other aspects of the character, eventually hit milestones which unlock new abilities or further strengthening, boosting, bolstering other abilities that you have. There is also one last thing that gets added into the battle system, which is bonds. When you're attacking, you normally get a star underneath an opponent. It's by pressing the corresponding attack button at the time of attacking. Now there's 3 types. You do it too early, which is the star didn't turn up at all. Yellow is, it's alright, you did okay. And then finally the purple, which is the ideal time to swing and do a wee bit of extra damage. This makes it a wee bit more involved with, instead of just go and swing, oh you did X amount of damage, perfect. You can focus on trying to do perfect attacks. It's the same with defense as well. When the enemy does it, they get a star underneath you, which you have to press the corresponding attack button to defend at the right time. Get it wrong, you take quite a bit of damage. Get it okay, you reduce the damage. Perfect, you can counter attack and do damage back to them. Sometimes you're prompted to give congratulations, well dones, or kudos, as I like to quote Peridot. This increases your bond with that team depending on what one you select. Now by filling up this meter, whether you're healing them, congratulating them, or just doing something that prompts you to. Once this meter is filled up, you get to unleash brilliant finishers, brilliant super combos, and even special fusions. For example, Connie and Steven, when their bond meter is filled up, you become the brilliant fusion Stevonnie, who has powerful and brutal attacks. Not only that, they've got really great combo attacks. For example, when you get to use Steven's bubble, you can only bubble one person at a time. However, when you're Stevonnie, you bubble the full party. This once again adds so much more depth to the battle. There's also the exploration. You do get to roam around very famous places from the series. For example, you get to run around the forest, to the icy mountain, to even just running around the famous beach city. You'll find quite a lot of familiar or well-known faces from the series. Mayor Dewey, Ronaldo, Onion. This just adds a little bit more depth to it, just bringing all these familiar faces and places you know. Sure, you can't go to Funland, but that's not the point. That's not what the game's about. However, rounding around certain fields allows you to look for certain things. You have X amount of treasure chests to open, X amount of things to do in it, and X amount of light Stevens to find. The treasure chests hold most things such as gems, which are your currency to go buy things off Onion when you find them. X amount of things to do, which is whether you're finding a key, a puzzle, or Onion, that counts to that little counter. And light Steven, well, I think it's 1 per area, but finding one of these, depending on the character that you are at the time, by switching between the rotation of your party, because each one has an ability that can relate in the field, whether it's Greg puzzle solving via music, Garnet breaking boulders, Peridot with her metal telepathy. You can tell this game's oozing love and so much fan service to us all. For example, there's certain little things that'll catch you off guard, especially if you're a fan of the series. For example, when you attack an enemy, if you get a perfect attack, it's bingo bongo. Something that was said by Lars in one of the series that was later referenced in the final series, and now referenced in the actual games. There's a lot of references to the series or that are little wee nods to said series that makes it so brilliant. There's even things that aren't references, which are quite funny. For example, Peridot's doing the Yoshi jump. You know, this jump. Now you look at the side to side and tell me they don't look alike. There's even funny little audio clips. For example, the cheeseburger backpack. There's 2 audio clips that I love, and every time I go into my items, I am filled with joy hearing them.
Cheeseburger backpack!
Overall, I couldn't not recommend this game. I think it's a brilliant work of art, and I've completed it once 100%. I'm now going to do it again on the Switch.
So there you have it, people. That is the review of, well, Steven Universe, Save the Light. I have generally loved this game. I have enjoyed playing it, I have enjoyed experiencing it, feeling a bit stupid at sometimes, and feeling like, you know, it was quite a journey and an episode that should have been in the series. I like things that have these little spin-offs that may take place in the series, or may actually be a story that we've missed out on. I, however, think that if you want to play a quick game and have a bit of fun, yeah, sure, get this. Until they port the final part of the Light series onto a console or back on the Android and not on the iOS store, I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the series, but I do want to know the final chapter without actually watching a YouTube tutorial or the cutscenes. I want to actually experience it. This is something that's driven me to go back and play the first Light installment as well. I've enjoyed the idea, the mechanics, the overall gameplay itself. That is what it takes to make a series game which I feel can be better than most adaptations. As you've probably no doubt guessed, I love this game. I hope you do too, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. Until next episode, memory card. Hey people, now don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you a few things. Now yes, this is a lovely new episode of the 2020. This is probably halfway through the season of, or I don't know, am I halfway through the season? I don't know. This is effectively, you're in Memory Card Series 1. This is the halfway point. I think, maybe, I don't know. Depends how many slots I've still to fill. So when those slots are filled up, that's the end of Series 1. I hope you have enjoyed this. This is much better quality I've been doing. I've hopefully added a lot more into it and shown off a bit more. Yes, I'm a big Steven Universe fan nerd, I know that. However, I do hope you've enjoyed. If you like anything else, I know it might be cringy to go back and watch. I've done it personally, just gone, oh god. I might revisit them someday, but go check out any of those down there. There's 3-minute reviews, go check that on the playlist, which I might plop some around here. I've got Facebook, a Twitter, and I've got also another series called I'm Okay, a series that I handle depression. Now that's a serious tone thing where I'm just talking how I feel and hoping it'll help somebody. If you suffer from depression or know friends that do or think this can help somebody, please go share that one. That's the most serious one I can actually share. 3-minute reviews, which is 3 minutes, blah blah blah. And main series, go check it out because I do have some very valid points, and you'll see how I'm actually improving with my editing skills and journalistic skills and reviewing skills and etc, etc. I hope you have liked this. I have stuck to the first month of January's schedule. February is going to be an interesting month, so please watch out for that, because I do have a few ideas in the works. Don't know if I'm going to come out with them, but watch out for the 3 mainline videos next month. Thank you very much, and catch you around for the next one.